Learning the art of self-control, I believe, is probably one of the most critical sales skills you can develop. And I'm going to share with you the key things you've got to be able to do to have self-control, what it is, and how it can have such an impact on your sales, conversations, and relationships and results. So my name is James White, and in this video series, I've been talking a lot about emotional intelligence, and we're going to talk about how self-control and the ability to control your own emotions in any sales situation is pivotal to your sales success. Let's have a look at what self-control is and how you can start to apply it to win more business. So self-control is one of the key 5 elements that Daniel Goleman talked about in his book around emotional intelligence. And it's that ability as people and humans to basically do what it says on the tin, to control our feelings and thoughts at that moment in time so that we can make sure that we don't do something that can cause us challenges and issues later down the line. And in a sales situation, I see it an awful lot. Classic cases, for example, when someone maybe tells the prospect a price. And because they're really nervous about the price, they then say the price for the service is £3,000, and the reason it's really good is because rather than just saying the investment for the service is £3,000, how does that feel to you? And they learn to shut their gob and basically don't talk anymore. Or the ability when someone said to them, nah, I don't really, it's not interested to me, I'm not interested in that. Rather than just go, oh, I don't know what to say or what to do, they're able to control their emotions and say, hey, no worries at all, I totally understand, you've got lots on. Tell me what would make it interesting to you. The ability to have self-control as a human and as a salesperson is pivotal and critical to our success. It's the ability for us to be able to know how to control our brains and the parts of our bodies that want to do things at certain times, and to be in a position where we can deal with that situation in a more calm and measured way. My mum always used to talk to me and say to me, whenever something happens, try and count to 10 before you actually do something. And that's a really great little way of being able, a technique to be able to use to try and exercise some self-control. Maybe you're in a sales situation where you've got someone that said to you that, the price is too high for something, or they're not interested right now. Your natural reaction is probably to talk at them, to say to them why it is. But maybe there's a time for you to give it a bit of pausing. Great point you mentioned there. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what makes you think it's that. And not maybe have that over sort of concern method or way of displaying something that makes you feel that makes the other person then want to rail up against you. But just have that ability to control what you do and how you say things. Or maybe you're in a sales situation where you've basically practiced out what you're going to say, and then someone comes in and says something differently, and then you get all flustered. A simple ability to have some breathing, to breathe. Things take into account, just pausing and breathing to enable you to build that self-control to then reflect and go back to what you know you should do or know you should say. It's going to be far better for you than to react and shoot off the hip. Sales situations go wrong when we take things out of the plan that we had in place. When we start to say things that we hadn't planned, or when we start to do things that we didn't want to because the other person has riled us up or has put something that's provoked an issue for us. It may well be someone saying, I don't think your product or service is as good as the competitor. And we then go, oh, we want to rile it up because we think it is, rather than be able to have that self-control to say, hey, I don't agree with that person, but thank you for letting me know your thoughts there, John. What's making you think that way? What have you seen about our competitors that you really like compared to us, and really appreciate the feedback it's useful for us to have? You might be seething inside, but the ability to react and respond in a different way and to show self-control is critical to making sure that sales situation doesn't go to complete and utter rubbish. The key thing about self-control is being able to train your brain and the way your body works to know how to handle certain situations. So those elements around pausing, the elements like giving your ability to your brain to count to 10 maybe, or count to 5, the ability to actually just step back, give yourself a moment, and maybe even just use maybe just a sample response. What's making you think that? Tell me more about that. Is a chance to let your brain be calm whilst you then start to think about the next approach you should take. People also find that they can't handle self-control because they don't know how to, because they've not practiced it. So practice talking to other colleagues and friends with certain situations and reacting in a certain way. The key thing about self-control is if we can resist that temptation, that urge to speak and to do something, just wind our neck in and be calm for that period of time, chances are we'll thank ourselves later down the line. How many times have you sent that email off and you thought, oh, I wish I hadn't done that, and you reacted too soon? So my key thing to you about this video is this. Start looking at how you can start to exercise some self-control. Practice pausing, practice breathing, practice those 1 or 2 statements you can use to give yourself some time to not react. If you do get an email from a client you want to respond to, give yourself that 24 hours to respond. Or if someone's in a difficult moment, just say, I'm going to take a few moments to think about stuff. Give that time to breathe and that time to think, and it's going to enable you to then identify what to say and how to say it in order to give the right reaction back. The ability to be self-control and control ourselves and control the way we operate is critical to sales and selling. And if you put it in place, you're going to be in a far better position to win deals. Hope this video has helped you. Let me know what techniques and methods you use. But self-control, if you master it, gives you the ability to become a sales superstar. And I hope you do. Look forward to seeing the results when it happens. Take care and see you soon.